Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day. Welcome to the Fasce Cast, your weekly podcast of everything football. There's fantasy, there's predictions. We got all the bets and the news. You name it, we got it all. Every single Thursday morning, 8 a.m. on the YouTube at the Fasce Cast. You know where to find us. And today, I am joined here by the full crew again. It's the Fast Brothers. Woohoo! Let's
Yay!
go. Week 14 football. Let's get into it, guys. What do we got?
Alrighty. Well, we're gonna start off with the Thursday night Amazon Prime game, and not only that, but possibly the game of the week. You can't hear the clapping, but I promise you I'm clapping. But anyways, yeah, we're starting off hot with the Amazon Prime game here. We got the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. The Lions are favored by -3 for this game. It is at home. It's going to be an incredible atmosphere, a divisional matchup. You know, high stakes. You know how it's going to be. It's going to be a battle for Thursday night football, and so yeah, I think I kind of want to start this one off with a good little first whoopsie daisy. Oh, the Packers are gonna beat the Lions at home. Oh my God, what's going on? What? Yeah, there's once again no real reason for it. Besides, I watched that last Lions game and 90% of the defenders got injured. That's not to say that they're not gonna come out great like they always are. But, I think they're going to be a little bit weak on that front. I mean, almost losing to the Bears is pretty surprising, but, divisional matchups can go any each way. But, yeah, I don't know. I like the Packers for this one for the gut reads, so I'm going to rock with the Packers money line.
Huh. That's pretty interesting. I like it. And yeah, we do have a very good kickoff to the week here. Usually I see memes all over Twixter that says about that about the Amazon Prime games being absolutely horrid. But yeah, you know what? I might give this a game of the week. Game of the week. I got the opposite though. I think there should have been every reason for the Lions to lose that game, or at least go into overtime and get an overtime victory last week on Thanksgiving Day. But I think they join right back to the ranks of strongest NFL team, and they don't slip away this week again. Divisional matchup. I got them by the field goal, -3 at home. Detroit Lions, #1 in the NFL.
I'm pretty much right there with you with the power rankings. They're having Detroit at #1 in the NFL. They're just gross, right? This I will agree with you guys. There's really only, I think, one other game that's contention for game of the week, maybe two, but this one is definitely no question not an eyeball avoider. It's an eyeball attractor for sure. So for my pick, right? These two teams are extremely hot. Green Bay is playing very well. And I think, Caleb, to your point about Chicago, they are playing pretty decent football and they're losing games, but very close games. I mean, the same thing with the Packers, right? They should have won, but it was a blocked field goal, right? Lions, I'm pretty sure last week it was ridiculously close. It was a 3-point game. So both these teams barely squeaked out a win against Chicago. So I think Chicago is a better team than their record indicates, and I think there's a little bit of a honestly might happen next year that might pop off. But for this game, I'm going to take the Packers spread. I was very close to taking the whoopsie daisy, but something about David Montgomery eating a carrot instead of the turkey legs on Thanksgiving makes me think that he's just hungry for wins and not food. So I'm gonna say Detroit's gonna win this game, but I'm taking the Green Bay spread, and I think it will be a game of the week.
Absolutely. No doubt about that for me. I think this is the game of the week. And it comes early, so it's going to be sad. I always miss the game of the weeks on Sunday, but, it's fine. It's fine. We'll get it out of the way early. But anyways, Sunday. Woohoo! Yeah, we got a good one. We got the worst team in the NFL against one of the best teams in the NFL. It's going to be good. Eagles, Panthers. It is in Philadelphia, too. They are favored by -12 for this match, which is quite a bit. The Panthers have kind of come on as of recently. Bryce Young is actually looking pretty okay. He's looking pretty good. He's doing thing. Adam Thielen, old man veteran Thielen, has been catching some incredible balls. That one catch should have been a touchdown in my opinion. Absolutely, but they ruled it not for whatever reason. I don't know. But yeah, it's it's one of those games where the -12 is just massive, and yeah, I'm gonna take it. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm gonna debate here. I'm gonna take it. The Panthers have been coming on. They could put up some points against the Eagles, but I don't think they're gonna do that well. I think that this Eagles defense is really special, and I think they're gonna shut down basically everything the Panthers throw at them. So.
Yeah. So I just had to look at the game. Was the Panthers against the Bucks? Are they rising here? Are they becoming a football team, or was the Bucks everything on them? They just have a horrible game, and the answer is the Bucks just had a horrible game. I think the only player on the whole entire team that showed up that week was Bucky Irving. He had a great showing against them. I thought they should have lost. I mean, that's the kind of props to the Bucks though, because that's the kind of grit you like to see in those like tough close battles. I mean, it shouldn't have been against the Panthers, but to pull out and find a way to win that game, what was it, like 30 something seconds left when Baker came on, and who came on the field with like 30 seconds left?
Patty Mayfield.
Okay, yeah. Those are the wins I wanted to see from the Bucks. I had in there to. That's going to be a close division too. But anyway, I'm going to get too far down the rabbit hole here. I'm going to agree. I got the Eagles -12. I really liked what I saw. We had questions like, are they back? Are they not back? Their schedule's so easy. They're beating up against bad teams. Looked like a pretty convincing win to me against what should be an elite team in the Ravens. I got a -12.
Yeah, I will say this. I know that 2 weeks ago I was saying I don't know. I don't really think that the Eagles are all that back. But, I mean, that was a huge statement win. Two of the Titans of, no pun intended, Derrick Henry Titans. Two of the Titans of the running back category facing off, and the Eagles really just, it was a dominant win. Saquon is just on an unreal level. He's on pace to break records, and he's just looking absolutely phenomenal. Carolina, though, they have been, like you guys said, they're kind of looking like an actual football team. Bryce Young didn't do so bad. He had almost 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he threw the ball 46 times, or something like that. But for this game, I'm actually going to take the Carolina spread at +12. I don't like these huge spreads. Carolina's looking a lot better than they were in the beginning of the year and definitely last year. Thielen back is a huge help, but like Caleb said, the Eagles defense might hold them at bay. I don't know. I just think 12 is a huge spread, and I'm going to take the +12. So back-to-back games, I'm taking the underdog spread.
What a turnaround too by the Eagles defense. Weren't they like really bad last year? The
Yeah.
defense.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They had a massive turnaround.
Yeah, that's
a lot
huge.
of rookies coming in playing like absolutely fantastic. But yeah, anyways, next game, we got another divisional matchup here. We got the Miami Dolphins, New York Jets. They're not fighting for the top spot in the division because one team already claimed that spot. I won't say who, but yeah. Right now the Dolphins are favored at -6. It is in Miami. And I'm gonna kind of keep this short and sweet here. The Dolphins are just any team under 500, they are gonna absolutely devour. And and to also back up what I'm gonna say next is last year, which the Jets defense was a little bit better. I think I can't really tell if it's the defense being a little bit worse than last year or the offense got worse, or I don't really know what the whole deal is with the Jets. But still, if you look at last year, the first game Miami and Jets played 34-13, not close. The next game 30-0, not close. I think the -6 spread here is gonna hit very easily, so I'm gonna go with Miami Dolphins -6.
I'm going to disagree. I didn't like, even though I know, I think they had a chance to pull out some kind of last seed wild card spotting in the playoff after watching me against a playoff team last week. They look kind of chaotic all over the place. And I just, for this divisional game, yeah, I like what you see last year, but this Dolphins team is definitely not the same as last year. And I got them close here. Probably still winning the game, but I'm going to take the Jets spread for it +6.
I am going to disagree with you. It's in Miami, so Miami
Of course
doesn't
you
have
are.
to
You
play.
always disagree with me, brother. Why do you have to? No, sorry.
Hold on. Well. I mean, yes, you're right, but somebody's gotta. You're a Cowboys fan, and somebody's got to disagree with that.
I do.
Why? Why do we have to?
Why? Yeah, so I'm taking Miami -6. It's in Miami. They don't got to play in the cold. I mean, they got stomped by the Packers in the cold. They're just not a cold weather football team, and that's the story of the Miami Dolphins. And they're playing in Miami against a New York Jets franchise that is in shambles. A lot of people thought that this was a year that they were going to be good, and they were proven wrong very quickly. And I mean, Tua's obviously playing pretty decently since he came back. Tyreek Hill's numbers are up. Jalen Waddle, his numbers are back up. And A-Chain, as my coworker likes to call him, A-Train, which I thought was pretty cool. It was pretty clever. I mean, the whole offense is playing pretty well, and you don't really need a solid defense against the Jets team this year. So I'm taking the -6 in Miami.
I know you mentioned the
Bang.
cold games. We do have a cold front going through Florida right now. It's only projected to be about 70 degrees.
Oh,
Oh,
darn it.
terrible.
So
Oh,
that's
God.
pretty cold. So
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know if you
What
want
are
to
you
want to
going to
change your
do?
mind after that, but
Yeah, no, that's pretty terrible. I feel for you. But here in New York, it's like 29 every single morning. But it's fine. Anyways, next game, Daddy Mayfield and the Buccaneers at home against the Raiders. The Bucks are favored -6.5 against the Raiders, and yeah, I mean it's fair to say that. I mean the Raiders are really. I did say the Panthers were the worst team, but I think the Raiders are easily the worst team. I think they're going to get the number one draft pick. Um, and yeah, it is what it is. Raiders kind of suck. Buccaneers, Daddy Mayfield are fantastic, but I think this game isn't going to go all the way to -6.5. I think it's going to be a closer game. I think I not a whoopsie daisy. I'm gonna go with the plus spread here, 6.5. It's risky. This one's risky because the Buccaneers could just show out. Mike Evans could go off for 300 yards. He kind of needs to if he wants to get his 1,000-yard mark this year. I mean, he was injured for a while, so
yeah, I think he's
that's fair. But
average a little
but
less than just under 100 a
yeah,
game.
it's like he needs like 465 in
Yeah.
5 games or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this could be the game that they just absolutely pop off. Bucky Irving could have another 150-yard rushing game. Rashad White could sit the bench like he usually does. But yeah, I mean, it could go either way. I think either Buccaneers are going to stomp them, the Raiders, or the Raiders are going to kind of keep it close. I mean, Brock Bowers is incredible, so who knows what he'll do. Um, but but yeah, I'm gonna go with the plus side for the Raiders. I'm gonna bet that they keep it close here. But if you want to keep it safe, if you're going for a multiple part bet here, I would say definitely take Bucks money line. But I'm going to the plus side for the Raiders.
For me, I'm gonna disagree once again.
Of course you do. You always disagree with me.
I do. I think this game, Baker is going to have a bake show. He's going to be baking cupcakes and bagels and donuts. And I can't think of any other baked goods except for bread. But yeah, he's going to be baking everything. And we do have a cold front coming through Florida. It's only going to be about 70 degrees for this
Okay.
game. But the
Yeah,
Buccaneers do not have trouble in cold games as notoriously as the Dolphins. And I believe they come back at home. Buck Irving goes for 100 yards. Mike Evans goes for a touchdown this game. He's got to get the 100-yard mark this game. They're going to have a fun day against. And I was going to ask, too, can we get a little boop, 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 boop? I think the Raiders are marked like as right now as it stands going into week 14, the number one draft pick, I believe.
I'm pretty sure they are.
And I think they're going to hold on to that pretty strongly here. And I got them by a touchdown. I'm taking Bucks in the bake show with the donuts and cupcakes, minus 6.5.
And you know what, brother? I'm gonna disagree with you.
Oh my gosh, aggressive.
Well, I just feel like I had to take it to another level because it was starting to incline more and more, and I had to be the peak there. So yeah, I'm taking the Raiders plus 6.5. Brock Bowers, man, he's incredible. I think he's like fourth in the league in yards, first in receptions as a rookie tight end. The dude is nuts, and that's really all that the Raiders need at this point. There's not much to the Raiders team. I mean, Gardner Minshew obviously went out for the season a couple weeks ago. Aiden O'Connell is slinging the pigskin, kind of. I guess we can call it that. I mean, he throws it sometimes, so we'll just leave it at that. But yeah, I mean, the Raiders really keep it close against pretty decent teams. Losing by a touchdown to the Chiefs, losing by 3 to the Chiefs. They're kind of a tough team to play against, I feel, but they just don't get the wins
Would you call the
as
Chiefs
easily
a
as.
decent team at this point?
I mean, I wouldn't say they're the worst 11-1 team in history.
I agree.
I don't think. I mean, they're obviously a decent team to be 11-1. You can't be a bad team and be 11-1. So I guess I can call them decent, but they're definitely not great.
They are
Uh,
slightly above mid for me.
yeah, that's pretty
And
much what I'm
slightly.
saying. So yeah, I'm taking the plus 6.5 for the Raiders. I think it'll be just about that, maybe a 6-point game or something like that. But I think the Raiders keep it close.
So on that, the draft order, after a little bit of research, the New York Giants are actually projected for the number one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Even though they have the same record, it's going off. It looks like they have a harder strength of schedule, is what it says. It says they have the 13th hardest remaining schedule compared to the 24th of the Vegas Raiders.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So the Raiders are 2 then.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Alrighty. Well, we're gonna go on the next game here. We got Minnesota Vikings, Atlanta Falcons. Talk about mid. Ha ha ha. Anyways, yeah, it is in Minnesota, and the Vikings are favored at minus 5.5. And I don't know about you guys, but the Falcons are like, if I think of mid, like the word, the definition, middle, that word, I just think of them. Like the Falcons, they have the mid defense, they have the mid offense, they have, I don't know, I just like everything they do is just like like mid record right now. Like they're just whatever. They're just that whatever team. The Vikings have a great record. However, like I said, I feel like they're in a little. They're keeping it close, but they are winning. That's important, of course. But yeah, I don't know. I think Justin Jefferson has to get a little bit more involved. I know everyone that has him in fantasy has been kind of upset with him recently, but that's not his fault. He's still great. But yeah, Sam Darnold, I think, is kind of coming back down to reality from the beginning of the season. I do think the Vikings are going to win this game, but I think it's going to be another one of those close games. So I'm going to go with the Falcons plus 5.5. And yeah, I'm going to keep it at that.
And once again, no, actually, I'm going to agree with you this time. I think you were spot on there. The Vikings just seemingly, for me, are having closer and closer games. And yeah, I kind of think you're right. I think Sam Darnold, they looked like, holy crap, this is the Super Bowl team of the century. Who would have guessed Sam Darnold, Sir Samuel slinging it? And just kind of the hype died down a little bit. They're pulling out wins, kind of like a Chiefs esque kind of, where like it seems like the other team outplays them and they somehow win by a point. Um, and they just are seemingly pulling out games. I think it's the same scenario here. The Falcons, like, almost the same deal. It looks like, wow, they should, like, you almost feel like they're on the brink of, like, they're gonna break through. That they have to, but it's always just like that constant, like, hey, it's just your average football team that you see in the NFL. Which is why I think it's going to be another closer one. I don't have them winning by over 5 points either, so I'm also going to take Atlanta spread.
And you know what? I'm going to agree. See how subtle that was? It was very nice and gentle.
That was
You know,
nice, yeah.
we can all get along if we just agree. I don't have to yell at anybody.
All right.
Yeah, let's see if we can hold that up for the rest of this.
It's not going to happen. But
Already,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm taking the Falcons plus 5.5. Pretty much on track with what you guys are saying. The Vikings are kind of slipping. They're looking like more and more mid as the season goes. I mean, the record is great. You got to give them that, but you know, it's like I said a few weeks ago. Sam Darnold, he's not going to keep up the Superman act for very long, and he's starting to look like Sam Darnold again. So the Falcons as well. They have the ability to pop off. I mean, their offense. They have they have a studded offense that's just not clicking right now for whatever reason. But I think in a high pressure game, they're still fighting for a spot. I think they take at least a close game against the Vikings for sure. So yeah, I'm gonna take the plus 5.5 for Atlanta.
Alrighty. We got another 1 o'clock game here. Another divisional matchup too. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns. Jameis Winston. Oh my goodness gracious! I mean, he threw for 500 yards, but also threw 3 interceptions. 2 of them were pick sixes. That was pretty incredible. I mean, that is just the most Jameis Winston thing to do. Uh, yeah, I mean, yeah, Bo Nix was also tried his infamous "someone please jump off sides" kind of thing. That was really funny. That was great. That was a great Monday night game. I can't lie. Everyone thought like, oh, it's gonna be boring. It's not gonna be many points, but oh, wow. I mean, there was a lot of points on the board. Jerry Judy also had like 4 million receiving yards too, which was very interesting to see. But yeah, I think divisional matchup. I think it's going to be a close one. The Steelers at -6.5 is quite a bit. That's about a touchdown, and I know the Steelers are going to win this one because I mean, if you look at the past many years, they always go 1-1. It's in Pittsburgh. I think the terrible towels are going to be terribly toweling. I think they're going to go crazy. They're going to want to get that one back against the Browns. And so yeah, I think the Steelers are definitely going to win this game, but I think it's still going to be a slightly closer of a game. I'm going to go with the Browns plus 6.5 for this one.
And you know what, brother? We've done it again.
You're going to disagree with me.
No, I'm actually going to agree
Oh!
with you. I'm taking the Browns spread. Perfectly well said. They won the snowy game on a Thursday night last time. And I think it's going to be kind of the same story, kind of keep it close. I don't think it's going to be snowy this time in Pittsburgh. But yeah, the Steelers feeling good on top of the division. Who would have guessed that? They're winning games. They got one that's pretty important here for the division. I think they win it, but by a touchdown. Seems like a lot of points based on one how Jameson just played the last game, throwing for 7 billion yards, and how they're looking, and how close it has been in the win last week. And so yeah, I don't think they win by a touchdown, but I do think they win the game. The Steelers. I'm taking Browns spread.
And you know what? We did it again. We are all in agreement at the Browns 6.5. We are in agreement, and I feel like I've reached a state of zen that I haven't had in a few days. Back-to-back games, we're agreeing, all three of us, and it feels really good. 6.5. That's a pretty decent spread. Again, like brother Justin said, it's not going to be snowing in Pittsburgh, and I feel like they are going to come out and really try to put the pedal to the metal and dominate this Browns team at home. And oh, mama, how does it? Oh, mama, fear for my life. Yep.
Yeah,
From the long arm of the law. Yep. And I think the Steelers do win this game, but these divisional matchups are always super close. So yeah, Browns 6.5, but the Steelers win. That's my prediction.
I also do want to mention I did see Nicholas unmute as soon as you started singing because I know he just wanted to sing it for you. But
I
that's
love
okay.
that song.
It's a great song. Oh, it's a phenomenal song. I mean, the Bills got Mr. Brightside going for him now too. Apparently, that's a new thing.
Yeah,
which I think is pretty cool.
When I was there in Pittsburgh and I heard it real time, I'm pretty sure a little poop entered my pants about.
Are you sure that was before or after?
It could have been both. I don't know. Who knows?
Do we have a beep boop 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 on the poop pants?
No, I can confirm there was something else entered mine during that song.
Okay, all right. All right. We got the next game, guys. Woo! The first official eyeball avoider. Yay! New Orleans Saints, New York Giants. Yeah, this is going to be a great 1 o'clock matchup game. Can't wait to do anything but watch this game when I'm watching Red Zone. Oh, the Saints Giants game's just popped on. It's on the solo screen. Oh man, I guess I gotta go grab some food really quick. That's what I'm gonna do. But anyway, Saints Giants. Saints are favored at -5 right now, and I mean, yeah, I think this game could kind of go either way. They're both pretty bad. The Saints are a little better. Taysom Hill, he's just gone, which is unfortunate. He was the majority of their team. So yeah, I mean, without Taysom Hill, I'm gonna for my second whoopsie daisy, and I'm not even gonna get too hyped about this one because this is an eyeball avoider. I don't even care. I'm gonna go with the Giants. And am I gonna watch this game to make sure that goes through? Absolutely not. I'm just gonna put like that half a cent bet on this game, and I'm gonna walk away and never look back. So yeah, that's my bet. Moneyline Giants.
I'm gonna 100% disagree with you. I got the Saints -5. I think they had a good game.
Buddy. Good for you.
I think the Giants aren't playing that great. Quarterback questions. What's going on with the team? Is Tony Pizza gonna lead the team to greatness? I don't think so. Even though Taysom is, you got the star Kamara back there. I think their offense gets going against a struggling Giants #1 draft pick team, and they know it. Saints -5. Eyeball avoider. Get your Domino's emergency pizza during this game.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. And yeah, that's what I got.
Yep, Saints -5, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Oh, all right. Yeah, another possible eyeball avoider. Divisional matchup, so it could be kind of interesting. We got the Tennessee Titans, Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm assuming Mac Jones is going to be starting this game again because of the incident that occurred in the last game. Yeah, it was pretty rough. I mean, we'll get more on that later on after the pick'ems, but yeah, we got Mac Jones starting for the Jags. they've had a rough season so far. I don't think it's going to be much better. The Titans, they offensively, they're looking a little better than before. They're actually putting points on the board. Their defense is still very good, even though they let up a lot of yards the last game. Still, I think they're like still probably ranked like one or two. I think they are two, maybe the best defense in the league in terms of yards per game. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go with the Titans here to win this game. And I'm gonna go with the -3.5. I think they can clear that pretty easily against Mac Jones at least.
I'm gonna agree. I got a -3.5, and yeah, like you said, at their defense, the Jags aren't gonna get anything moving. Unfortunate for the team this year. Quite literally fell off the wagon here, and yeah, I don't see them. Even though it's divisional, I don't see them moving the ball too well, especially in Tennessee. So I'm just gonna take the Titans as the favorite at -3.5 to win the football game.
Yeah, we're all in agreement again. It's I'm gonna take the Titans -3.5, and I think if I were a real risky better, I'd put an alternate spread at -10. Jacksonville just doesn't have anything going for them at all. I mean, they lost Trevor Lawrence obviously last week. ETN has been literally non-existent. He's not doing anything, and it's actually kind of surprising a little bit. But I mean, the Titans don't look terrible right now. The Jaguars do, so I'm taking the Tennessee Titans. Oh, I also wanted to ask, right? I think we should put an over/under on the amount of time spent broadcasted on Red Zone on the 1 o'clock window for the Saints and Giants. Maybe even this game, to be honest with you. I put a line of 2 total minutes of coverage
Of
for the
airtime?
Saints. Right?
That's
Yeah.
including the Octobox.
Oh, including the Octobox too in the beginning. 2 minutes total. So you get the score down.
Oh, I got the under easily.
I'm gonna take the over. I think the Saints score a lot this week. Over 2 minutes.
Under 2 minutes.
Oh, we're at a split. What do I do exactly? 2 minutes to balance it all out.
Yes.
Honestly, I think it's going to be under 2 minutes. I don't think the Saints are going to score a lot. I don't think it's going to be an exciting game by any means. Maybe Kamara pops off, but that's pretty much all you're looking at. So I'll take the under on the 2 minutes.
I think
But
it's gonna be there.
yeah, same thing. Honestly, with the Jags and Titans, I think it's going to be just about the same line, 2 minutes.
All right. Well, yeah, enough of that over under. Anyways, 4 o'clock window. Yay! Another divisional matchup. Seattle Seahawks against Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. You like that? Against Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, and this game, Cardinals favored -2.5. But I don't see it. I don't see it. The last, I think, 8 games that these guys have played, the Seahawks have beaten them 7 out of the 8 times. And these are two teams. It could realistically go either way, but I just think the Seahawks just kind of own them a little bit. And JSN has been popping off, so I'm gonna rock with the +2.5 for the Seahawks this game. Actually, you know what? For money reasons, give me the Seahawks money line here for this game.
Oh,
For
whoopsie
the money
days.
reasons. I mean, it's not really a whoopsie daisy. I wouldn't consider this a whoopsie daisy just because it really could go either way.
Yeah.
But
Pretty close spread. Divisional game.
yeah.
You can count it if you
Yeah.
want, but
Count it if you want it. Yeah, moneyline Seahawks.
which is exactly why I'm gonna step in here and you guessed it,
Disagree.
completely disagree. I got the Cardinals -2.5 at home. They're gonna split this year, man. The Cardinals, I had them going in whoopsie daisy last week. They should have had that game lost by 1 point. What the heck happened, Cardinals? Oh no! I think they bounce back at home here, get a split on the division with the Seahawks. They win by a field goal, and is this gonna put them? Is this gonna tie them with the Seahawks here?
No, I won't because I won't win.
Well, what if they win? I think that ties them like division record, regular season record. Maybe we get a quick beep a boop boop on that, but I'm pretty sure that's gonna tighten up that division there. And I think those two are gonna have like a head to head, like a battle for the
Yeah,
last
it
few
would.
weeks.
It would tie them, yeah.
I apologize. May I have a repeat of what that question was?
No, they would tie them. He was just saying if the Cardinals won this game, would it tie them in the division? And it would.
Like their
Cardinals would be
divisional
in the
records too,
division.
right?
No, Cardinals
Yeah.
would be ahead. They'd be 3-1. The Seattle Seahawks would be 2-3.
Oh, okay. Look at that. So they could. I think this is an important game for them, and they know that going in here. They take the lead in the division, especially at home.
It would tie the season record. Yeah,
Every game's
Not-
an important game. They should win every game.
Well,
they
obviously
should, but they.
I got a -2.5.
And I disagree. I have the whoopsie daisy question mark
Mini whoopsie daisy.
We can-
oh,
we
it's
can
a cute
count it.
little baby.
a little mini whoopsies.
The mini whoops.
I'm taking the Seahawks money line. Actually, I don't know, right? Because double XP was last week. The Cardinals lost. Correlation, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, I have the Seahawks at. I'm taking their money line for the little mini whoopsie daisy.
Sweet little baby whoopsie daisy. Oh, he's such a cute little boy. Okay. Anyways, 425. Woo! We got the best team in the NFL, the Buffalo Bills. Yeah. Woohoo! MVP Josh Allen. Woohoo! Sorry, I'm glazing a little bit. And then the LA Rams. Boo. It is in LA. It is in LA. SoFi. Pretty little stadium, cutesy doopsy, nice. You spent all that money just to lose to the Bills. Aw, boo hoo. Yeah, Bills are favored by -4.5, and I would probably take the -21 if it was there. So yeah, give me the Bills -4.5.
You know what's really funny about this week? I before we even started going over our predictions and all these bets, I already had this line written in. That I had Caleb Bills -4.5, Brandon Bills -4.5, and also me because I knew already that's what you guys were gonna pick. This year, I think it's safe to say that you guys are contenders. You guys,
Yeah.
you guys might have a strong chance. You won the division for now 5 years in a row. I think 5th time the charm. You know what I mean? Is that what they say? Right? Is that the old saying? 5 times the charm.
I'm sure somebody did. Somewhere.
Yeah, you guys are looking.
We had to lose it 4 times in a row. You know, for obvious reasons, Super Bowl, right? Yeah, we had to match that, and now we can really get going. Now we're done with the curse. Now we can go.
Ooh, the lore is deep.
I like the logic
Right,
there.
right,
I like the
right.
logic. 4 in a row, and you lost 2 of them to who?
Shut up.
Okay, so.
And when was that? what did we compare that to? When was the last time the Cowboys? What was invented?
I think it was what came out last year.
DVD. Yeah, DVD. Yeah, that's
iPhone, what are we on, the
DVD.
15 now? iPhone, no, whatever. Yeah, I got a -4.5 too. Solid football team you guys got there, let me tell you. Man, and the Rams just haven't pulled it together yet. I think they're just one of those teams that are just going to kind of ride out the rest of the year kind of thing. I would like to see them like hit the division's like close enough, like a game or two where you got 5 weeks, you got to win games. I don't think this is it. I think this is where they start falling off the wagon for the division hopes. I think Cardinals take it on. We're gonna see the sleeper team that we called all year make it to the playoffs. That's what I'm calling right now. Cardinals win it in that division. I got Bills -4.5 of this game. I'm sorry, Rams fans.
You know, it's interesting you say that I would predict a -4.5 because for my first. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go there. Relax, everyone, chill out. Okay, Bills
I wasn't even
-4.5.
entertaining that you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bills -4.5 is a lock. I mean, MVP Josh Allen. What else can you say? I mean, I will say, however, I think down the stretch we might see a little downtick in production from maybe James Cook, mainly because we already clinched the division, and there's no sense in running your running back who's been outstanding for the Bills this year into the ground before playoffs. So Ty Johnson might have a little bit more uptick in snap share, but realistically, I mean, Josh Allen is still going to be your quarterback, and what else do you really need? So, yeah, Bills minus 4 or 5, lock it in.
Heck yeah, Bills minus 21.
I already had it locked
Anyway,
in since like
yeah.
4 hours ago, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Next game, we got the 49ers and the Chicago Bears. It is in San Francisco, and poor 49ers, man. They got decimated last week in the snow, and they lost Christian McCaffrey again, and now Jordan Mason, too, and their team is just crumbling. Everyone on that team is getting older. They're going to have to, pay Brock, and yeah, that team is looking downhill, especially right now. This everyone was saying, hey, this is you didn't get it last year. You need to get it this year, and it's not gonna happen. Poor 49ers. If you're a 49ers fan, I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you, but not really. Anyways, yeah, Chicago Bears. They're looking. They could play well or they could not. That's just kind of what it's been every single game all year. Um, but you know what? The -4 for the 49ers is really throwing me off because honestly, looking at this right now, I see the Bears winning this game. So I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna go Bears money line for the whoopsie daisy according to DraftKings.
Caleb?
Well,
I'm going to agree with you for my first and only a little heads up for the next couple games here. Whoopsie daisy of this week, week 14 NFL. I'm going to take the Bears. I think the 49ers are too beat up. And I think both Christian McCaffrey and Mason went on IR, right? So they're pretty much done for the season.
Yep.
Both of them. So they had to pick a running back up. As we know, Ayuk has been gone. They got Debo left of the core there. Their whole entire offense is in shambles. Their defense was injured. They didn't have a lot of pieces last week on defense either. I think the only notable was how am I forgetting his name right now?
Fred Warner.
Yeah, Warner. Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, I think the only notable player there that was left, not injured, was Warner. And it's the same story. They're just like way too injured. The spark isn't there. It's too tough for them. They just had a really unfortunate year, and that's the same boat as the Bears too. And they've had a couple games where you're just like, "Yep, that's the Bears. Yep, welcome to the family." Yeah. Somehow they lost that game. And I'm going to take the whoopsie daisy here. I feel like the NFL gods are going to give them back a little bit.
Coach firing.
But yeah, usually, like you were saying, usually when like the spread like this, -4 is a lot of points on the DraftKings here. It's like, man, there's something off about this that shouldn't be that way. Usually when that happens, it's what you don't think is everyone's going to throw in on the Bears this week, and then the 49ers will just somehow win by like 43 touchdowns. But I got the Bears money for the whoopsie daisy just because I feel it happening. But yeah, it's kind of scary with a -4.
And we have a little bit of a sweep going on here. We have a sweep. So, yeah, I'm taking the Bears money line as well. So that'll be my 1.5. Whoopsie daisy. I got a little cutesy one there before, so it's my 1.5. But yeah, Bears whoopsie daisy. And yeah, 49ers are just in shambles. Everybody's hurt. We'll get into a little bit of an opinion here a little bit later on the 49ers from me. So hang on for that. But yeah, other than that, I got the Chicago Bears money line. Whoopsie daisy.
I don't know about you, but when you said hang on, I literally gripped the arms of my chairs.
Why?
I don't know. I
It's
just
just
you
following
said hey, you
instructions.
said hang on, and I was like, okay, I'm strapped in.
Okay.
He's just following instructions. He's ready.
Yep.
Alrighty, we're going on the Sunday night football game. Woohoo! Yeah, except not really woohoo because for some reason I can already tell watching this game I'm gonna get mad because it's gonna come down to the last stupid field goal and something stupid's gonna happen and I already know. I just already know. J.K. Dobbins is out, so that's not going to help the Chargers at all. Chiefs, are the most mid of mid you can possibly mid as well. But they're going to win the game in some stupid fashion. That's what they always do. And I'm really going to need to start losing. I would love to take the Chargers here. They're a great football team. I think they can do it. I think they have Vlad McConkey. I think they had the pieces to win this football game, but it's just not going to happen. And for some unknown dark magic, Chiefs magic, whatever you want to call it, they're going to win the game by exactly a field goal, and that's just what it's going to happen. So I'm going to go with the +4 for the Chargers.
Oh yeah, it's my turn.
And I hate to disagree with you.
Yeah. So unfortunately, Caleb,
Yeah, who saw that one coming?
and unfortunately for Brandon, I have both bamboozled you because I know I said I foreshadowed not having a second whoopsie daisy for the week, and this is all leading up to for my second whoopsie daisy of the NFL Week 14 season. I'm gonna take the Chargers money line here. I'm gonna talk about this a little bit later. Also, kind of foreshadowing into one of our next segments here. But I got the Chargers. I like what they're doing. I like the team. I like the momentum going into the playoffs. And I think the Chiefs drop another game. And this is the week where the Lions take the sole leadership of the NFL.
Yeah, let's get the number one seed.
Could be. I mean, you have to get past the Rams this week. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
I
gonna be tough.
I got the Chargers winning.
I think that was actually beautifully done. I can literally picture you getting up from your desk and running away from the mic so it didn't cut off and running in a circle. For some reason, I saw you just quick run in a circle and then come back to the desk. If I'm accurate, let me know because
very close. I kind of walked back and forth, but yeah, I did get up and walk back a little bit, but no circle.
So I'm going to agree with one of you here. The Chiefs are stupid. They win stupid games, and it's very stupid, and I hate it very much. It's very stupid. But for my second and a half, whoopsie daisy, I'm also. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Chargers money line here. I'm gonna really hope and pray that the football gods are not gonna frown on the entire nation and make the Chiefs win this game. I did see something very funny on TikTok recently. This guy he put up like 2 wood blocks for the matchups, and he'd roll a marble, and whatever one fell would be the losing team. So it was this game, and he rolled the marble, and it knocked over the Chiefs, and he threw a flag on the floor, and then he picked it back up and rolled it again, and it did the same thing. And he threw a flag again. Oh my God, I thought it was hilarious. It was literally the funniest thing I've seen. I had to watch it like 3 times. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Chargers money line for the little whoopsie daisy here.
That actually is really funny.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I would have loved to see that video.
Wait, Caleb, you said
yeah.
You had you said the Chargers spread?
I had it's +4 for the Chargers. Okay. Yeah. So we're all hoping for the Chargers to pull through here, but Chiefs black magic.
I think I'm stuck
anyways.
on what brother was saying. The worst 11-1 team in history. It's crazy. Like I don't see almost the same thing last year. When they were hitting the playoffs last year and their offense was literally scoring less than, I think it was 18 points a game going into the playoffs. And I was like,
Yeah.
there's no possible way they're gonna win against. And then all of a sudden
I
they
think-
just start scoring like third. Like it was great. I thought there was even looked really weak last year. So it's just odd with that team.
Yeah, I really think it's just Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo. Oli.
Yeah, they do
That's
have
really that's really carrying their team like
Yeah.
in full force.
That
I
is
think
true.
those two are just great coaches, but they're just playing with what they got, and somehow they're winning games. That and the refs. But anyway, it's Monday night.
And half.
And a half. We got the Dallas Cowboys. Woo! We done boys. We done boys.
We done boys, let's
Woo,
go.
Here we go. We done boys. Against the Cincinnati Bengals. Our defense is not done boys. Our defense is not done boys. Yeah. Bengals defense absolutely horrific. If you're dropping that many points to the Steelers, it's yeah, you got a problem. Their offense still fantastic. I mean, they're every single game. They do all they can on offense, but their defense just lets them down tremendously. But thankfully, they're playing against a bad offense in the Dallas Cowboys. And
Bad?
the Bengals are. I meant.
Come on, man.
Pretty horrible offense in the no hey, you know what, Cooper Rush is actually a pretty decent quarterback, second quarterback to have, right? He's a good backup. He's pretty solid. He's been pretty solid. CeeDee Lamb, though, with those drops has been a little concerning. He got to stop that.
I agree.
Definitely gonna stop that. But like I said, anything could happen. And the Cowboys, maybe they pull it out, maybe they don't. I mean, you guys aren't really fighting for too much. I think the Cowboys could use the win a little bit more now with the Bengals, because I mean, you still might have a chance. You're on the bubble, right? You're in the playoff bubble, right?
Dude, that's what I was gonna say.
Right.
We are
You're on
so
the playoff
back,
bubble,
guys.
so-
There's
hey,
hope. Our
hey.
season is recovered.
The
We're making the
Cowboys-
playoffs. We done boys,
Cowboys
baby. Let's fuck.
need
Let's go.
to
Let's
win
go.
this
We're gonna
game.
win.
They're gonna have a chance to make the playoffs. They're gonna come into this full force and still lose because they suck. Give me the Bengals minus 5.5.
Oh, brother. Why'd you have to do it to me? After we were just recovering, Cavante Turpin, returner. We're winning games. We actually won 5 football games this year. Yeah, actually. To be honest, I think this game will actually might be good. I think
I think it will be a good game, actually.
I think it's probably going to be pretty close. Minus 5.5 is a lot. Do I think we win in Jerry World? Have we won a game this year at home?
You won the last one, yeah?
Was that at home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Against the Giants? Yeah, it was at home,
Oh, okay.
right?
Oh, yeah, Thanksgiving. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so oh my God, we're so back. We're recovered. I'm taking no, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna take the plus 5.5 here, though. Do I think we win? It could be close, but yeah, I think Joe Burrow's too good. That offense is gonna score too many points. Our defense isn't that great to stop them, and yeah, I don't. Our offense, especially with all the injuries and stuff, and just the horrible season we had, I don't think is going to recover the amount of points that they're going to score. So I'm going to take us a spread, but I'm going to take us to lose. So Cowboys plus
5.5. Caleb, I love what you did there. It reminded me of Pat McAfee when it was college game day and they were talking about Georgia and Alabama. And he did the whole Georgia alma mater song or whatever it was, and he was like, "Give me Alabama."
Yeah.
It's exactly what that reminded me of. But yeah, I'm on the train with a plus 5.5 for the Dallas Cowboys. I think this game honestly has potential to be an absolute shootout, no defense being played. So it could be a very, very high scoring game for both teams or one team, and it's either going to be both teams or the Cincinnati Bengals. So realistically, I mean, they kind of figured out that Zeke is not a good running back anymore. His heydays are way gone. They left when he left Dallas, and they thought maybe bringing him back would rejuvenate him a little bit, but that's just not the case. Rico Dowdle, I mean, come on, he's showing up and he's playing good football. But yeah, I'll take the Dallas 5.5 for this game, and I'm actually hoping for a shootout. Monday Night Football. Carrie Underwood singing Monday Night Football, Dallas Cowboys.
Nope, that's Sunday night.
I thought it was Monday night.
Nope, it's Sunday night.
Sunday night.
Waiting all day for Sunday night. Yeah, that's that.
Oh, I thought it was Monday.
Yeah. You just wanted to hear me sing. Don't lie to me.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, all right. That'll conclude the pick'ems for this week. Lock in your bets. If you agree with me, or if you want to be like Justin and disagree with me on everything, then go ahead and lock in his crap. I was a winner last week, so I'm the smartest, obviously.
Right.
So listen to me. Heck yeah, brothers. But yeah, all right. Week 14, you know what that means. Last week of the buys in the NFL, but also more importantly, last week of the regular season for fantasy. If you know you're eliminated, this is not for you. You can do whatever you want. You can play whoever you want because it doesn't really matter at this point now, does it? Nope. But for those of you who are in a tight race still, you need to win this game to have a chance. We're going to get into a little bit of some starts and sits for you this week because this week is important. You got to win this one, all right? So there's some people still on the waivers possibly that you could go out and snag. Or, you know, if you got them on your bench and you're not entirely sure who to, you know, who to swap out. If we call the names, you better listen, all right? We know what we're talking about, all right? So, yeah, we're going to start out. Justin, do you want to lead us off here with this one? Or
Oh, absolutely, guys. I'll start it off here, and this is what I got. At this point, you know if you're eliminated. And for those who have perished this year in fantasy, I apologize to all of your seasons. Your long-waited NFL fantasy season just to be broken in shambles. You know what? I'm on the verge of like a couple leagues here that are like down to literally this last game. And we got another buy-mageddon. There's a boatload of teams on buys. And the most crucial part of your fantasy. So this is a perfect segment to go into. Like, oh my god, I'm absolutely screwed. I have 7 teams on buys. My whole entire bench is on a buy. Who the heck am I going to start? And I'm going to start off with a reverse Uno card for the Pittsburgh Steelers running backs. You're going to swap your Najee Harris starting and put in Jaylen Warren. Against the Cleveland Browns, might I add, a couple weeks ago, Warren doubled, a little more than doubled in fantasy points. And I think it's going to be the same story here. I don't know, like, what the connection is and whatever may happen, but yeah, I think he had 15, 16 points against Cleveland, and Najee only had like 7. So I'm gonna have a repeat. If you believe in history repeats, we're gonna do that again. We're gonna run it back, swap out Najee, pick up Jaylen. He might even be on your waivers or something. I know not a lot of folks pick up Warren there, but start him up. Do the reverse Uno card. I think that's a good one to throw in. Important week going into the playoffs. And second, what I'm going to have here, start, I think Darnell Mooney is going to have a pop-off game. It seems like he's been hiding in the shadows here for a little bit. Where the heck has he been? And I feel like he's going to come back to one of his 20-point games where they're going to be looking at him. He's going to be the man to go to for Kirk this week. It's like, yeah, I think like the past like 2 or 3 weeks, it's like, is he even on the team? Like, has he even got a reception? I think he bounces back. You throw him in. A lot of receivers are going out for the bye week, obviously. Throw in a Darnell Mooney. You won't be sad about it. And then I had one more that I wanted to talk about. Where the heck was he? Let's talk about You know what? That's all I got this week.
Well, I'm kind of upset you said Darnell Mooney because he was on my docket. I had him on the list to start. So I
Did you
mean,
really?
so far, yeah, oh yeah, yep. Like I said, the beginning of the year, he's gonna pop off. I predicted 8 touchdowns on the year. He's got 5, so it's definitely within reach, especially with Atlanta still fighting for that spot.
Let me add in
Uh,
before you continue. If you guys haven't added Jerry Judy, to your lineup, I found him in one of my leagues on the waivers. So I think that
yep,
should go without saying. Like, you just start him pretty much at this point.
yep.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick him up right now, but I'm still obviously we're still. I had to claim him, and it's pending right now. But I have a feeling it might not go through because everybody's trying to grab him right now. And if you're
Eh,
not, you should try. Check your waiver positioning. If you're up at the top, definitely try to grab him before anybody else. But I will get into my picks here. Um, yeah, Darnell Mooney was one of them for sure. But I think this week, a big start for me is Kyron Williams against the Bills. The Bills this year have struggled against the run, and Kyron Williams is that guy to just pop off every couple games. And I think this is a game that he can do well. Uh, I don't think he's going to have a crazy game, but in terms of like the depth, like this is a big bye week for a lot of teams. I think Kyron Williams is going to be a good guy to have maybe in your flex option or your RB2 or something like that. Um, Definitely look to start him against Buffalo this week. I know I am, but I'm going to go with a sit and then another start here. So sitting this one, if you would have told me with Ayuk going down to sit Debo, I would have told you to shut the door and go pick up my mail and then come back and reconsider yourself. But he just is a non-factor. He has been doing nothing. He's not the Debo of last year. He's just not that guy this year. And I think with San Francisco probably losing this game in this upcoming week, he's again not going to have a big game. Obviously, their running backs both went down, so they're going to have to rely on the pass game. But knowing that, I think the defense is going to probably try to adjust to that a little bit and lock Debo down. And I mean, teams have been doing a great job against Debo, and he's just not doing it. I don't know if the spirit is sucked out of the Niners locker room or what, but he's just not getting it done. So definitely look to sit him this week unless you don't have a choice. Which in one of my leagues I do not have a choice, so that's cool. Um, and then this one's kind of a little bit of a curveball. So sit back on it and drive it the other way. I'm starting Quentin Johnson this week against Kansas City. He's gone 3 games without a touchdown. I feel like he's one of the better route runners in the league up close, and I think that there's going to be a lot of red zone play between the Chargers and Chiefs this week, and I think Quentin Johnson walks away with a touchdown. Obviously, Quentin Johnson, Ladd McConkey are 1 and 2 there, and this I think is going to be a big week for LA against the Chiefs, and I'm looking for him to score at least a touchdown.
Heck yeah. That's it. That's all you got. Just making sure.
Oh, obviously start Chris Boswell.
Oh yeah, no, he's important. Yeah, you want to start him. All right, for me, and thinking about, I don't know why I had this guy on here, and then I didn't think about it during the pick'ems at all. But yeah, I'm going with a neglected position that we've neglected like throughout all of our podcasts so far. The quarterback position, it's important. That's a lot of points right there. And yeah, Baker Mayfield is going to pop off against the Raiders. I wish I could change that bet now, but it's too late. It's locked in. But Baker Mayfield's going to pop off if he's on your bench. Because he has been doing super hot recently. You can throw him in there. He's going to get you at least 40 points. Daddy Mayfield, you can always count on him when the time is right, right? I mean, it was week 14. You're no, he'll pick you up, toss you on his back. He's going to get you into the playoffs.
So now what you're saying is you're agreeing with my disagreement to you in the pick'ems.
I think your turn was like 2 turns ago, so I think you should. Um, Anyways, yeah, all right. So yeah, Baker Mayfield, Daddy Mayfield, whatever you want to call him, you're gonna be calling him Daddy Mayfield with me after this week when you put him in. He's gonna get you many points. Uh, Looking at running backs here, Tyrone Tracy on the Giants going against the Saints. I think he's gonna have a great game. He's gonna, he may not be the best running back in the league, but he gets a lot of receptions. That's for sure. He's pretty much the workhorse there. I mean, they're already kind of low in terms of running back depth, but he's really stepped forward. Singletary does kind of share the load, but Tyrone Tracy is 100% the reception guy, and you know how receptions go in the PPR format. I mean, just look at HN. I mean, he's just yeah, that's just how it is. He's gonna get you a solid amount of points against the Saints here. For wide receivers, there's not too much I would say. Not that you would already know. I mean, there's a lot of receivers out there that are you kind of already have a good feeling at this point. But like if you really need one, if you really, really, really desperately need a flex option, and somehow you're about to make it in the playoffs. I mean, this Westbrook Akine guy has like a touchdown every single game on like 16. He has like 8 touchdowns on like 17 receptions, which is absolutely insane. So if you want a cool touchdown points, if you want a solid like reception, maybe 10 yards and a touchdown, one reception, 10 yards and a touchdown, yeah, go for it. Put him in. He's going to get you at least that. And it's against the Jags. So, they have a really bad passing defense. So maybe he'll even get you 2 touchdowns. You never really know. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my starts here. For sits, yeah, I mean, let's go with the running back here. We're gonna go with Isaiah Pacheco. I know everyone's, he was doing pretty well for you before he got injured. He came off the injury. Everyone's ready to put him back in. They've been missing that spot. But he's not going to do great. He's still sharing the load with Hunt there. They picked him up for a reason. He still gets touches. But most importantly, it is against the Chargers, and the Chargers defense is very incredible. And they've only allowed 3 touchdowns to running backs all year, which is actually pretty wild. So yeah, I think this is one of those games I wouldn't put him in. I know how much you missed him. He's not going to do great. And same on the other side of the field too. Gus Edwards. I know everyone was like, "Oh, J.K. Dobbins is out. We're going to put in Gus Edwards. It's going to be about the same." No, he's nowhere near as good. He's not going to get you that many points. It's against the Chiefs too. They have a pretty solid run defense as well. It's not gonna look that great for you. And yeah, so that's what I got there for you. And yeah, so there you go. Go out there, win your fantasy week 14, your last week of the regular season in fantasy. Make it to the playoffs for me, would you? Thank you. I appreciate you. Um, but now let's go on to some end of the year talks here. You got the MVP, you got the offensive player of the year, you got the defensive player of the year, you got the coaches of the year. But then you got the rookies of the year. Yeah, we got some pretty solid rookie quarterbacks this year, and even some non-quarterbacks this year. So yeah, let's talk about a little bit who you guys got for the rookie of the year. I know Jaden Daniels is at the top of the list right now, I think, in terms of betting, but I mean, Bo Nix, he looks pretty incredible. Do you guys think he has a shot? Or I think there's oh yeah, the tight end. Oh man, Brock Bowers. He has the most receptions in the league and is now has the fourth most receiving yards in the entire league as a rookie tight end, which is pretty incredible. So, what are you guys' thoughts? What do you got, Justin?
Yeah, I think especially Brock Bowers, he's going to be like a main. I can already see next year, especially with a struggling tight end position. Probably a huge turnaround on people trying to draft him next year pretty early. For me, it's between two people. It's between Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels. You look at the teams; they're both 8-5, same exact record. You look at the stats on the year. Man, is it close. They're both at 2,800 yards. Jaden has obviously a little bit more on the rushing side for him. So he has a couple 300 more yards and a couple more touchdowns in the rushing, which for me is why he's favored right now and edges him out. But it seems like in the past couple years, it hasn't been a full on stats game. It's also been the visual eye test, which is what we have to account for here as well. And between the two, man, it also looks pretty close. It almost looked like it was a dominating, no doubt about it, Jaden Daniels in the beginning. But as the season progresses, honestly, I could see it going either way. And I guess for me, I'm gonna stick with the Daniels just because of the rushing stats. I think that's what put Lamar over the edge for the past couple years for MVP, and that's exactly what I think is gonna win him Jaden Daniels this year for Rookie of the Year. It's just the rushing stats. It's just a vital part of the game now. It almost seems like we had a whole league shift to we got to find mobile, we got to find quick, we got to find running quarterbacks. Seems like that's the direction it's been heading in, and he fits everything that goes into it. Very strong team, start of the year. Looked great. Yeah, he fell off a little bit, but we got 5 weeks to kind of solidify it here, and it's going to be one of the two. I'll tell you right now, it's either going to be Nix or Daniels. For me, I'm going to give the edge to Daniels, solely based on his running ability and dynamic offense play style. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, Nix can take off for sure, but I mean, Daniel's just one of those like Lamar-ish esque kind of thing where he has the finesse and the pizzazz about his runs and that kind of thing. So you look at Bo Nix and he's like a Brock Purdy, like running down the field, kind of thing. But yeah, that's why I'm going to give the edge to Daniels here.
I do think prior to the season, it was a big talk about Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. Obviously, Caleb Williams is not in contention really. The Bears are struggling pretty bad, but I mean, Denver and Washington both have an 8-5 record. And you look at who's leading those teams, and it's the quarterbacks. I mean, who would have thought Denver would have had an 8-5 record, and who would have thought Washington would have an 8-5 record? I mean, the defense is playing a large part in Bo Nix's success this year, but he is looking outstanding. You got to give him that. Jaden Daniels as well is looking outstanding. I think it's kind of a tale of two halves so far. In the beginning, it was all Jaden Daniels, like you said. He was kind of dominant, running away with it. And then Bo Nix had a resurgence, and he's kind of dominating the game right now. And then, like you said, you look at the ground game, and Jaden Daniels he's just one of those guys that can improvise and scramble. He's a good mobile quarterback. But I don't think it's going to be either of them. I mean, look at what Brock Bowers is doing with a bad team. He's literally leading the league as a tight end in receptions and fourth in yards, like you guys said. That is absurd to me that a rookie tight end is doing that on a team that is currently 2-10, already eliminated from playoff contention. I mean, you got to think, where would the Raiders be literally without Brock Bowers? I don't think they have a win on the season without him. He's looking absolutely incredible. I mean, these are the things that you look at. Like, if he maintains this level of success down the road, where is it going to take him? Obviously, staying with the Raiders, I don't know if it's a thing that really anybody wants to do at this point. So, where could he end up if he keeps it up? Are we looking at legitimate NFL record type tight end with this guy? So, I mean, this dude he's on a whole nother level. And it's just very unfortunate to see his team go 2-10 with the numbers that he's putting up. So I like the comfortability in choosing Brock Bowers for Rookie of the Year. I just don't have faith in the voting based on the record of the team. So if I had to edge it out based on record, I would give it to Jaden Daniels, mainly because of like you said, brother, his rushing ability and his improvisation. But to me, it's clear cut Brock Bowers as rookie of the year this year.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I mean, if this is also the same thing with MVP. It's kind of a quarterback award, but like it's just kind of one of those years that are, if it wasn't going to be a quarterback, there's an obvious choice, right? I mean, Brock Bowers is just an animal. He is everywhere on the field. He's I don't know. Like you said, if he wasn't on that team, they'd be worthless garbage trash. Respectfully, of course. But yeah, I think Brock Bowers really is that guy, and what he's doing is absolutely incredible. But it's a quarterback award, just like MVP, just like Offensive Player of the Year. Actually, well, that's more of a toss up, but um, yeah, I think it's gonna go to a quarterback. Definitely Bo Nix or Jane Daniels, and it's a little bit more of a popularity contest too. And just because Jaden Daniels was picked, second quarterback, I think it's just gonna go to him. Obviously the rushing stats. Bo Nix is pretty mobile too. When he gets going, he goes. But yeah, Jaden Daniels just you know it's more of a threat though. I think with both terms or both sides, and rest of the season you're looking at defenses here. I mean, Commanders, they play the Saints, should be all right. Eagles is going to be really tough, but then they play the Falcons, which should be fine, and then they play the Cowboys, which should be fine for them. And the Broncos, they play the Colts, which is going to be tough. They always have a tough defense. Broncos or not the Broncos, obviously. Bo Nix is on the Broncos, but then they play the Chargers, tough defense. They play the Bengals, which he might actually throw for 700 yards. But then they play the Chiefs again the next week, so he's got a tough couple of defenses coming up these next few weeks. So I think it's going to go down a bit for him. Whereas Shane Daniels, I think it's going to go up. So he's definitely my pick. But what do you guys got for Coach of the Year too? What do you guys got for Coach?
I want to throw this in here, right? So the quarterback rookie of the year, there have been more in the past 10 years. There's been more position players to win the rookie of the year award than there were quarterbacks.
Really?
And it's pretty close. It's a 6-4 split, but
probably receivers, yeah.
Yeah, you got OBJ and Todd
Jefferson.
Gurley. And then you have Dak Prescott won Rookie of the Year in 2016, the glory days, right?
Did Jamar Chase not get Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
No, he did. Yeah, he did
Oh,
in
okay.
2021.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say.
But CJ Stroud won it last year. Garrett Wilson, obviously receiver. Jamar Chase, receiver. And then you had back-to-back Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray, both quarterback. And then you had Saquon, Alvin Kamara. So it's a pretty, I guess, diverse group because you have running backs, receivers, and quarterbacks. The only thing I don't see is a tight end winning the award. I look back and I have not seen a single one since 1967.
Well, I could see the 2021 thing, especially for Chase, because if you look at that, you got Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Mac Jones for the first round. So that one, I think that one could have been anyone, but Jamar Chase is Jamar Chase. So
correct. Yeah, he is Jamar Chase. Correct.
Yeah, he's really good.
He is. But coaches too. I mean, what do you guys got for coaches?
Yeah, coaches, which I think ties in a little bit to.
Oh, of course.
Rookie of the Year. For me, like if it was like my Coach of the Year award, what I look for is a complete turnaround of an organization. Like you always have your top dogs. Obviously, Dan Campbell is going to be the talk for Coach of the Year. They were a great football team last year, NFC Championship. I mean, it's one game. Improving is one game to the Super Bowl. So they're obviously a powerhouse again going into this year. It's an awesome run led team, very well coached team. Obviously, he's going to be a favorite, but for me, it's not like surprise, like a huge turnaround, because they're going to be great again. Same thing with like your Mike Tomlin's, always a solid, legendary coach, always above 500, never had a under 500 season, always legendary. Same thing with a Matt LaFleur with the Packers, always have a good Packers team, one of those legendary old school coaches. For me, like if I were to give it out, it's probably going to end up, if I had to like put bet on it, Dan Campbell. But same thing, like with a big turnaround, I'm looking at three coaches actually. Kevin O'Connell. I think everyone before the season started had the Vikings dead last in the division with that division this year. Maybe the Bears, but definitely Vikings and Bears on the bottom of it. And now look at them. I think that's a lot to do with coaching, and I think coaches are very underrated in the league. I think they have a huge part to a team's success. So I actually really like this topic and talking about the coaches. But Kevin O'Connell for me, not really like a huge turnaround kind of type thing, but one of those ones where like everyone wrote him off before the season started, and everyone was surprised when they did well. So that's just a well coached team. Jim Harbaugh, high expectations coming in, and I'm pretty sure he delivered. The Chargers haven't made playoff runs like this. I think they made it a couple years ago and lost out first round kind of thing. But this is like a turnaround coach. You come in high expectations, he delivers on it. They have a great team this year. They're gonna make the playoffs. Very high probably making the playoffs too. I see him winning a couple games. That's one of those sneaky teams that you can't count him out. He's one of my front runners too. I really like him as coach of the year here. And kind of one of my last ones, kind of curveball, which is the huge turnaround. Washington Commanders, Dan Quinn, please come back to us. Never leave the Cowboys. Too late. That ship has already sailed. What a turnaround to that team. Coming in, a new quarterback, and he's a defensive coach. He's got like this is like how many wins, like 3-4 wins last year to now we're like that is a big improvement to the team. I think a lot of huge props to Dan Quinn. If it were me, I would literally give the award to him because this is one of the ones, another one of those surprising things. Like, who the heck are the Commanders? How are they second in the division? Even talks like winning the division a few weeks ago. Um, a little rough patches in the middle of the season here, but that's like one of the biggest like flip. Here we are. We're making the playoffs now. When's the last time you seen the Commanders in the talks? That kind of thing. So I like Dan Quinn a lot. If it were me, I would give it to him this year. But I think probably end up going to Dan Campbell. But the three top there is the surprising factors for me. Kevin O'Connell, Jim Harbaugh, Dan Quinn.
Yeah, I was looking at Jim Harbaugh as well. Obviously, a new coach is here for the Chargers. He used to be in the NFL, went to coach at Michigan, and now he's back in the NFL with the Chargers. And I honestly was not expecting the team to be this good. They're a pretty solid football team under him. So he's definitely. It's really hard to tell because, like you said, I like the turnaround factor. Um, and Harbaugh coming in and doing what he's doing with LA is absolutely fantastic. It's great for the organization, and it's also great to have two brothers coach in the league. And I said that 2 weeks ago when the Chargers and Ravens played each other. It's pretty cool. And they both have very similar names, Jim and John, and it gets confusing sometimes.
I almost mixed it up.
Yeah, it's very hard, but. Yeah, Dan Quinn is another one I'm looking at. It might surprise you guys. I have a few here, right? So Dan Quinn is obviously, in my opinion, more towards the top of Coach of the Year because, like I said earlier, who would have thought Washington would have had the record that they have? They built seemingly a great football team around Jaden Daniels, and I mean they're playing really good football, and they're still in the hunt very, very probable that they can make a little bit of a run and see Dan Quinn be very successful as a head coach there. He's not going back to Dallas. Sorry to tell you that ever. You guys have Mike McCarthy locked up for probably 30 years. But another one that I really, really like is Sean Payton with the Denver Broncos. Obviously, Sean Payton had issues with Russell Wilson, and their team was very, very bad. Russell Wilson was not a good quarterback. Obviously, him leaving and being successful with the Steelers is cool, but you look at what Sean Payton is doing with Bo Nix, a rookie quarterback. I mean, he's 25 or 24, 25, something like that. So, I mean, he's matured. And I think that is what's playing very well into the Broncos' success is you have a very mature quarterback with a very, very good historic head coach in Sean Payton. I mean, they're in the fight too, and they also look like a great football team. And really, who would have thought? I mean, last year the Broncos were what, like 8-9. And then you look at them this year, and they're 8-5, so they matched the amount of wins that they had last year, and they're going to run into a couple more wins here, and they might make the playoffs. They might have a deep run with their defense. I mean, defense wins championships, so it's really cool to see Sean Payton be successful with Denver. And the last one I want to mention is Sean McDermott because go Bills.
Sweet. For me, I have three. Dan Campbell, obviously, we talked about it the other week. His motivational speeches make me want to jump out there, take my shirt off, run out of the football field, get absolutely plowed, get injured, get CTE.
What was that first one? Get what? What was the first one? What'd you say?
You know what it is, right? In the
Yeah.
locker room. Anyways,
Oh.
my second one. My second one, Kevin O'Connell. Like Justin said earlier, I mean, hey, Minnesota Vikings. Who thought they'd be here right now with Samuel Darnold? He's done incredible. Like he's keeping that offense going. He's he's an absolute phenomenal coach. And then my last one, Dan Quinn. We were all talked about him. A rookie, not only right, just come in, taking over as head coach, right? It's new to him too. Rookie quarterback as a defensive coordinator. I mean, he worked with them. They look absolutely phenomenal. And no one thought that this team was going to be as good as it is. And they have a playoff team. So very much props to him. If I had to give it to someone right now, I think it would be Dan Quinn. Just what he did in Washington, I think, is pretty incredible. But Dan, all three of those guys really truly deserve it for me, and a lot of the other coaches too. But those are just my top three. But yeah, enough of that. We're on the last segment. Your favorite segment. Is it okay? Is it not okay?
God, you
Sorry,
didn't
hold on.
make the
Wait.
It's time for It's Okay. It's Not Okay.
You just had to wait. That's all.
You didn't let him
You just
finish.
had to wait a little. Right. I wanted to say it, and then that
I got you. Okay. All right.
I to be honest, I did forget at first, but then I was gonna do it. But anyways, is it okay? Is it not okay? We all saw the hit. We all know what happened. All right. Trevor Lawrence goes down. Is it okay or is it not okay to give Aziz Al-Share? I'm sorry if I butchered your name, buddy. A 3-game suspension for that hit
okay,
on Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, right. Is it okay to give him the 3? Do you agree with that 3-game suspension for the hit on Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna butcher his name too because it's kind of hard to say, and I'm gonna just call him Z's.
Z's.
Yeah.
Because you put Trevor Lawrence to sleep. Oh,
I was just. Oh man, I was so close.
That's messed up.
Z's. So we'll call him Z's. It's for me. If you look at the coach press conference at the end, the Texans coach, the video I sent you guys, he had a lot of good points. Yeah, DM. He had a lot of good points in that conference of consistency and suspending players and a few players that get ejected from games, play 3 games and then get their discipline, or it's only 1 game here, and then this one being a 3 game suspension is kind of like a inconsistent kind of thing. Which, I mean, to be fair, is a lot of good points, but and then you get into the arguments. Even Tom Brady commented on it. He said the quarterback has to do a better job of protecting himself. Late slides, slide earlier, make sure you get down. All in all, for me, when I watched it, and my initial reaction was that was an extremely dirty play, horrible hit. It literally looked like he was trying to kill him. Like, he launched from the ground, went for the head, everything on the checklist of what not to do when a quarterback is sliding was checked off. He did everything that you're not supposed to do. So for me, it's like, get this guy out of the league was my initial reaction. You don't like to see it. No one likes to see it. The hit. For me, is the not okay on the hit or on the suspension? Are we doing that?
I'm gonna go with the 3-day suspension because
Is
the
it
hit
okay for
is
the 3 day?
yeah 3-day suspension.
I'm gonna say, for the sake of it, I think it's perfectly okay. Solely based on the history of the player. He's had a few other, and it blew up all on your Twixter, with the with the Z's, with the Tom Brady, like choking him out, grabbing him by the neck, the couple extra like dirty play, dirty hits kind of thing. When you have a pattern like that and you see it, like, it starts becoming like a safety question of players. Like, is this guy out here like playing football, or is he out here trying to be a UFC, take out the people's kneecaps kind of thing? 3 game for a hit like that. As I was saying, like, the checklist of everything you're not supposed to do, and definitely looked like a targeting. He like literally launches shoulder, elbow at his head. Might have been a late slide, but still, you can't come off your feet like that, like going straight at the guy's forehead. 3 games. I'm I'm gonna say it's okay. I'm gonna say it's okay. I kind of fall back in the consistency thing too. Like, with the 1 game, like everyone else seems to, after you get ejected like that, it's a 1 game. You come back, you pay your fines, kind of thing. But he's getting a three in fines. I think the nature of it and history and the way it looked and everyone going off about it, I'm gonna say it's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. The first, like, my initial thought on the hit was it was. I mean, it was extremely. I mean, it was disgusting. Honestly, the whole. I mean, the hit, the head snap back. It was almost very clear targeting. There's a little bit of a rift here, though. I mean, the NFL wants to protect quarterbacks, but somehow we see an uptick in design quarterback runs. And when you get out of the pocket and you essentially become a ball carrier at that point. Yeah, you slide and you shouldn't be hit when you slide. But in the same token, we've seen quarterbacks, uh, Patrick Mahomes, try to like fake a, not necessarily fake a slide, but they'll like slow down and act like they're going to slide. And then the defender lets up because you can't touch the quarterback. And then they'll gain another 15 yards because everyone kind of quits playing defense. Now, I will say that this particular instance was not the case at all. Like, it was, I mean, Trevor Lawrence had his knee down before Z's left his feet. I mean, hit right to the head. It was disgusting. It was a dirty play. And he has had a history of like dirty plays, late hits out of bounds, choking Tom Brady out. Just, he's not the cleanest player in the league by any means. And there has to be a statement made for these players. I mean, we see late hits on quarterbacks, we see injuries on quarterbacks, and this one just seemed so blatantly obvious that you can't give them just a game. I mean, that's really how people get hurt and possibly end their careers. Like, head injuries are no joke. Tua is just a robot. Apparently, he can just come back and not really care. But I mean, especially with a player like that. I mean, I'll reference the NBA. You look at Draymond Green. He's a tough, gritty player. He can get dirty, throw elbows, and I don't know what else he does. Slap hands. Um, he'll throw elbows and do all this dirty stuff. And if it's somebody that you're not expecting, and it's just kind of like a misjudge, like, I didn't know he was going down. It's like my first offense. I'm not a dirty player or whatever. I mean, a 1 game suspension is doable there, but to have a guy with a dirty history and lay a dirty hit like that, it's got to be definitely more than 1 game. Honestly, I would have I would have said that out for the season wouldn't have surprised me, to suspend him that long. So, yeah, I'm going to say it's okay for a 3 game suspension. I'm honestly surprised that it wasn't more, but I feel like that would have caused a huge argument. I mean, I feel like 3 games is more than fair.
Well, well. I kind of thought one of you would go to the other way and just say it should have been like a 1 day or something. But and I know we don't do this often, but I'm gonna have to agree as well. I think it's okay. The 3 days is, I think, perfectly reasonable. And that GM that was doing that conference, he was giving examples of all the other suspensions and stuff like that happened, and none of these guys are getting 3 days. But you think about who it was on. This is Trevor. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're doing this to anyone, it's not a good look. But this is the quarterback, right? And he is mid slide. Whether you saw it late or not, there's plenty of ways to avoid getting a hit like that, or make it as less bad as possible. But it looked like he was going full force. No matter what happened. He was going to try to kill this dude. Which, in football is all fair and square, whatever. But it's with the slide. I do think there has to be something with the sliding. I think everyone is a little too afraid, especially of this happening, especially is lake slides, and it's what it is. What it is. I mean, in this case for me, I think sure it was like around the same time, but he fully lifted off. He was trying to absolutely take his head off. Um, but I think there should be some sort of penalty offensively for fake sliding as well. I think that should be a penalty. I don't think you should be able to do that, and I think that'll kind of avoid some of the backing offs as defenders, and it'll just kind of balance that out, and people will actually try to hit you, because once you're running the ball, man, you're a running back now. But still, even for a running back, that is still an absolute dirty hit. And yeah, I think a three game suspension is exactly what I would have done. I think that is the perfect amount. I don't think it should have been more. Obviously, he tried to kill him, but that's football. You know what I mean? That's football. Enjoy your CTE,
It
Trevor
is.
Lawrence. You're gonna join everyone else.
It's always
Um,
tough. It's
yeah.
it's got to be tough to be a defender because,
Right.
you want to play the game. It's a contact sport, but yeah, like backing off or like a slide or maybe it's got to be a tough position. But yeah, you heard it. We all agreed this time, but let us know if you disagree on Twixter. We're gonna post the "It's okay, it's not okay." Whether you think it's okay for the 3 games that he was given, let us know and vote on it over there. We're also, if you haven't known or caught out by now, gonna be on YouTube at the Fasce Cast every single Thursday at 8 a.m. So tune in last week, tune in next week because it's going to be the same time every Thursday. And thank you guys again for listening and tuning in this week. we will catch you all for week 15. Good luck on your fantasy, and hopefully you make the playoffs going in. And we'll see you next time. Go
Go
Cowboys,
Bills.
Sweet boys. We're on the
Go
bubble.
Bills.
We're gonna make the playoffs. Let's do this. See you guys.